What's up, everybody? All right, I had somebody ask about the circle of fifths as it pertains to the guitar. It is very helpful, just in the sense of if we're, whatever modes, whatever scales you're playing, whatever key signature that you're in, sort of navigating the neck is knowing what sharps or flats are in that specific key. So it is very helpful. There's a pattern in this that I wanna show you guys that really helps some of my students get this. Now this might be a video where it's sort of like split up into a couple different chunks. You might need to like go back. If this goes over your head, you might need to go back and sort of review this information. But this is it. Now, I wanted to do this lesson now for one of my followers. So excuse the way that I look. I just got back from a run. Excuse what I'm writing on. I don't have any. Actually, this is the police report, the Barcelona police report for my stolen phone that I'm writing this on. So what would also be helpful is if whatever you're watching this on, if you just have like a Google image of circle of fifths, and we could sort of go through this. But the pattern, especially visually as it pertains to the guitar, can be a little bit easy here, okay? So let's go through, we're gonna go clockwise, okay, through the circle of fifths. I mean, that's the way that the fifths go, right? And at the top of the clock is C. So we're gonna hit, it's just like a clock, 12 letters here. So we're gonna get all 12 tones in this. So we've got C, and then the fifth of C is G, the fifth of G is D, the fifth of D is A, the fifth of A is E, the fifth is E, the fifth of E is B, the fifth of B is F sharp, and so on. Now, and this is where I want to stop. We're going to go this way to address all the sharps, and then we're going to go the other way to address all the flats. So there's a pattern that's happening in this sort of circle of fifths that does manage to get us all the way back up to C again. And I want to show you this. So if you guys are looking at your Google image of the circle of fifths, watch the pattern that I'm going to play on guitar, and you're going to see the pattern happen and bring us all the way back to C. I want you guys to not just think of the fifth as this sort of, if you're not in music theory, if you're more of like a visual guitar player, which I know that a lot of people are, there's no fault to that whatsoever. If you're more visual, let's do it on the guitar so you have something to construct this with. If I start on C, right here, okay, to find the fifth, you do a power chord, okay? Now, the way that this pattern is going to work is, that's my power chord, my C, and my G, right? The way that we're going to do it is, if we're starting on the fifth string, like we're going to do with the C, instead of doing a power chord this way, we're just going to invert it. We're going to take the G and we're going to put it here, the octave, okay? That's how we're going to do it. So I want you to watch this pattern, okay? We're going to go from the fifth string, back, then do our power chord from there, right? And then from there, back, do our power chord, there, back. This is going to be the pattern. This is jumping up in fifths. So every movement is a fifth. So if you're looking at your circle of fifths right now on Google image or whatever it is that you're looking at, let's do this. C, right? If I jump up, that's my fifth, which is G. I do a power chord from there. My fifth of G is D, right? Jump up because my fifth of D is A. Okay, do a power chord, my fifth of A is E, my fifth of E is B, my fifth of B is F sharp, my fifth of F sharp. Now I'm gonna switch this just because this is the way that the circle of fifths is sort of laid out. My fifth of F sharp is C sharp, but we're gonna switch right there and go to D flat, okay? So my fifth of F sharp is D flat. I hate saying that because I hate mixing up the sharps and flats, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second, right? Okay, my fifth of D flat is A flat, my fifth of A flat is E flat, my fifth of E flat is B flat, my fifth of B flat is F, and my fifth of F is C. Okay, that's the whole pattern. That's what we're doing there. There's a reason that pattern is going to become relevant later, because there's going to be an easy way for you not to have to memorize this image, which can be very, very confusing. Okay, so now when we have C, there's no sharps or flats whatsoever in C. So G has one one sharp, okay? And it's F sharp. Now look it up here. I have all the sharps listed, right? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and E sharp. There's a pattern that's happening there, okay? And it's the fifths pattern again, right? F sharp, the fifth of F sharp is C sharp. The fifth of C sharp is G sharp. The fifth of G sharp is D sharp. It's just moving. It's the same pattern. It's just moving up in fifths, okay? The one thing that I do want to show you right here that I have circled is E sharp. Yes, there is an E sharp, even though E sharp is F, because at that point, we're in the key of F sharp. So in each one of these keys, we're talking about like diatonic keys, seven tone diatonic major scales. Every single letter, whether it has a sharp or a flat, has to be accounted for, okay? So if I have an F sharp, I can't also have an F, right? And then if I had an F sharp and an F, I would have no E. There wouldn't be an E in there, okay? Because I'd have F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, and then go right to F. I'd have no E. So the E isn't accounted for, and the F there would be two Fs, an F and an F sharp. Okay, so that's the reason that we have an E sharp in that key. Okay, so now let's check out this pattern. So we know that the sharps are now moving up fifth. So if I go C, right, my first sharp is F sharp for the key of G. Okay, now it just goes. It just takes this order. My next key signature is D. It has two sharps, the F sharp that we already had, and then the C sharp, okay? Then with A sharp, it has the F sharp, the C sharp, and the G sharp, right? And so on. The key of E, the F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp, all right? And then the key of B, I'm just gonna keep going so we get this. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp, and then finally our F sharp key. Which is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and that weird E sharp, okay? That is how we can remember. If it has one sharp, it's here. If it has three sharps, right? All right, we're in the key of A, but it just has the first three, those three sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Now, the pattern that's actually happening when we're moving up in those sharp keys is if you notice, I have C. When I go up to G, the first sharp that's added is the seventh of G, F sharp, right? One fret, if you're using your guitar, one fret behind G is my F sharp. That's my seventh degree of G, and that's the sharp. It's going to continue with that pattern. If I move down here, D, now it holds the F sharp, and then it adds the C sharp, which is the seventh of D, okay? So now if I move here, it takes the F sharp and the C sharp, and then it adds the G sharp, which is the seventh of A. All right, we're gonna keep going. E, it carries over the F sharp, the C sharp, and the G sharp, and then we add for E the D sharp, which is the seventh of E. All right, same with B, carries over F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and adds A sharp, the seventh of B. All right, and then finally F sharp carries over the F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and then we add the E sharp, the seventh of F sharp. Okay, so that's the pattern. Everything is moving up pretty nicely, and there is a consistent pattern, which makes it a little bit easier. Now, at first, just kind of like adding all those in might start being a little bit difficult. Like if somebody says like, hey, we're gonna play, we'll play in the key of B. You might need to sort of do like a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I got it. So it's like, you know what I mean? And start putting those type of patterns together. But eventually, it's going to become memorized because of the patterns, and it's not so wildly esoteric. I mean, and they follow the same pattern too. If you look, if I have my F sharp, right, and then I go to for G, if I go to D, and now I have my F sharp and my C sharp, that's all it is. F sharp and C sharp. Now I have the fifth, right? They're a fifth away. Now for the key of A, I have 3, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. So the fifth of C sharp, same pattern. We add G sharp, right? And that's how you sort of jump up. So it's all this sort of same pattern as we move forward with the sharp keys. It does start getting a little bit easier. So I know that I might be speaking quickly if you guys are just starting to get into this. So digest it or throw a comment if you do have a question. And hopefully I didn't misspeak in anything because sometimes it's pretty easy to like accidentally say one of the wrong sharps in there. So that's really how we're gonna look at the clockwise half, the sharps half of the circle of fifths. Now, counterclockwise, it's all fourths, so it's just reversing is all it's doing, okay? So what we really have is, C, we're just gonna go down the pattern now, okay? So if you're looking at your Google image of the circle of fifths, we have our C, right? Now, if you remember, as we were jumping up, it went from F and finalized at C. We're reversing the pattern. If we reverse this pattern, we're actually finding each fourth. So we're starting with C, we go to F. F is the fourth of C, all right? Now we go to B flat. B flat is the fourth of F, right? Now we go to E flat. E flat is the fourth of B flat. Now we go to A flat. A flat is the fourth of E flat, right? Now we're gonna go to D flat. D flat is the fourth of A flat, all right? Then from there, yeah, we'll go to G flat. So from there, we're gonna go to G flat, right, which is the fourth of D flat. So same sort of reversal pattern there. Now the pattern of the flats, especially when you're looking at the circle of fifths, it is a little bit easier, okay? Because they're introducing the next key. Let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, we've got C, and then we go to F, which has one flat, which has its one flat is B flat, okay? Which is very convenient because now we go to B flat, okay? So F has one flat, it's B flat. Now when I go to B flat, it obviously still has that B flat in it, right? But now it adds an E flat. So B flat has two flats in it. It's the B flat and the E flat, right? And it introduced E flat that now has 3 flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat. That introduced A flat, which has 4 flats in it now. B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. That introduces our D flat, right? Which now has B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Boom, okay? And then G flat adds the B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and then our C flat. I have that circled again because a C flat you would say is a B, right? But in the key of G flat, we already have a B flat in there, so we can't also have a B natural in there. So that's why we have a C flat. Okay, so I hope that if you really digest this and go through it slowly, I hope that you can at least sort of see the pattern. If you want to take a screenshot of this, you know, especially this part up here, you can sort of see the pattern. You can see the pattern and how it sort of relates this sort of like skipping up the guitar neck. And then just sort of reviewing this will make it a little bit easier to memorize. You know what I mean? It's not really memorizing, because I always think that memorizing is like when I was in school, I was a horrible student. So like I had to memorize something to then pass the test and then forget it. You know what I mean? This is more like learning. This is going to help you just learn and understand the circle of fifths. So I hope that helped. Ask any questions below, and if you picked up a mistake, let me know, because that was a lot of sharps and flats, man. And the funny thing is when you get into this and you're sort of getting into improv, you're sort of using these ideas while also using the number system. I'm always thinking like, all right, if I'm in Dorian, I go, oh, it's my natural six, because stuff like that. So there's a few dimensions of improvisation on guitar, especially, well, the way that I do it. I don't want to say that everybody plays the same, and this isn't always the stronghold in it. So sometimes rattling through some of this stuff very quickly, I can easily misspeak. So awesome! Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you soon.